then, as we were mentioning, the Falmouth wind turbine experience having some influence in many other communities.
Yeah, I mean, in fact, the Wind One, as it's been called, this Falmouth turbine, has really been, cited all over the place. It's sort of become, in many ways, sort of the poster child of how to not do something, at least according to, a lot of opponents and even proponents. There's a lot of proponents who say, don't use the Falmouth wind turbine as the example. There are other examples. The Falmouth turbine, there were problems with where it was sited. It's an older turbine. There's newer technology. That's what the proponents will tell you. But if you talk to people like Mark and Annie Hart-Cool, who live, they've become, as they say in their own words, we've become the poster child for this. And so now they're, any community that's looking to put up a wind turbine, they're starting to entertain guests from those communities who will come and visit. And in many instances, it convinces people, oh, man, well, we better not put up a wind turbine in our neck of the woods. And so this is really having a ripple effect throughout across the Cape. And in fact, in the story, I thought it was interesting that the former Connecticut Attorney General Richard Blumenthal, in regards to a wind turbine that's being proposed in Prospect, Connecticut, has sent letters out, asking that, look at the Falmouth experience, because it does show, and I think he has a real good point here, that it does show that you better think very carefully about where you site them and the proximity to residential neighborhoods because of the experience of people that live nearby.
Right, and then you've got Greg O'Brien again from the Stony Brook Group, who's saying that while they're looking at that, they should also be looking at towns where there are no complaints, so that we're getting the whole story. And it comes back to that same question again: is how far away do these things need to be sited? That's the question we can't seem to answer. So what is the proper distance?
Right, and then I think there's also that element of different people respond to things differently, and so you always have I live very close to a giant wind turbine, and so for me, when I hear somebody say that it sounds like a jet engine, I think that's ridiculous. I mean, I live close to one, and that's not my experience. But
it is for somebody else.
But it is for other people, and I'm not diminishing that. And I think it's an important thing to look at.
Even in this article, Mark Cool, he says it's the siting, not the turbine itself, that's flawed. He hopes town officials and residents across the Commonwealth continue to embrace clean energy, with the caveat that wind turbines must be consciously scrutinized in order to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
So.